Assalamualaikum everyone. So my name is Michelle B. Dampas. So my topic is about pragmatics and my member or co-reporters are Ranalyn Joy Alonsabe and Marian Scarlett Villado. So our topic is about pragmatics. So first things to introduce to you is about the different definitions of authors. So first is pragmatics is a branch of general linguistics, like other branches that includes phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, and semantics. So first is we have Charles Morris' famous definition of pragmatics was the study of the relation of signs to interpreters. The second one is Levenson's considerations of pragmatics was the study of those relations between language and context that is pragmaticalized or encoded in the structure of a language. So the third one is a May's definition was pragmatics studies the use of language in human communication as determined by the conditions of society. And for the fourth one is we have Ran Yongping expressed his idea in his book A Survey of Pragmatics. So he has the definition which is pragmatics is a discipline not only concerning the sense but also concerning the derivation of sense and the understanding of underlying meaning as its objects. I have other definitions of pragmatics. First is pragmatics is the study of speaker meaning. So the second one is pragmatics is the study of contextual meaning. And the third one is pragmatics is the study of how more gets communicated than is said. So the fourth one is we have pragmatics is the study of the expression of relative distance by Yulee 2008. Now let's proceed to the background of pragmatics. I will no longer read the definitions or the text that I put in my PowerPoint, but instead I will explain it. So pragmatics has its roots in ancient Greek and Roman philosophy, where early thinkers explored the nature of language and meaning. So the modern field of pragmatics emerged in the 1930s, where Western philosophers began focusing on the study of language, symbols, leading to the development of semiology. Initially, pragmatics was considered a branch of semiology. So, reflecting its philosophical origins, the theoretical foundations of pragmatics includes the semiology. So, that is 21st century linguistic philosophy and the functional linguistics, all of which contributed to understanding how language functions in different contexts and how meaning is shaped by usage rather than formal structure. So the next one is we have the development of pragmatics. So we have Morris. So for him, the pragmatics was pivotal in the early development, and it was significantly shaping its foundational ideas. And also he believed that studying pragmatics required considering various factors such as society, psychology, and culture, as these elements influence symbols and their meanings. And also for Morris, the most significant contribution to pragmatics was his 1938 division of semiology into the three distinct branches. We have the syntactics, semantics, and pragmatics, which established the framework for the study of science. Okay. The next is we also have the famous philosophers, which is Carnap. So for Carnap, expanded the Morris ideas by emphasizing that pragmatics should focus specifically on the relationship between users and words, as well as the reference of words, thus making the aims of pragmatics more precise. He also categorized studies into theoretical and descriptive types. Following Carnap, his student Bar-Hiller argued that pragmatics should target specific elements such as deixis, including the term like I, here, and now. In the second stage of pragmatics development, Austin and Searle significantly influenced the field with their speech act theory, which becomes central topic in the study of how language functions in communication. Okay, the next is we have the development of pragmatics. So in the development of pragmatics, contemporary pragmatics has evolved to include a variety of interdisciplinary approaches with scholars exploring field such as interactional sociolinguistics, interlanguage pragmatics, and cross-cultural pragmatics, as well as the connection between pragmatics and translation or language teaching. So this modern development encompasses several specialized areas, including the pragmalinguistics and sociopragmatics, which focus on language use and social context, respectively, as well as cognitive pragmatics and clinical pragmatics, which examine how cognitive processes and clinical conditions impact language understanding and the use. Okay, now let's proceed to the 3 stages in the development of pragmatics. I will no longer read also this statement. So I will explain it directly. So the development of pragmatics can be divided into 3 stages. So we have the first stage from the late 1930s to the 1940s. So the philosophers like Peirce, Morris, and Carnap treating pragmatics as a branch of semiology, which research largely confined to philosophical discussions. So the second stage from the early 1950s to the late 1960s was marked by significant contributions from Austin, Searle, and Grice, who advanced the study of speech act and implicature, laying the groundwork for modern pragmatic theory. So the third stage, beginning in the 1970s, it shows the pragmatics emerge as an independent discipline with new focus areas and methodologies. Now let's proceed to the School of Pragmatics. So for the School of Pragmatics, the study of pragmatics is primarily divided into 2 major schools. So we have the British and American School and the European School. So the British and American School traditionally focuses on sentence structure and grammar, examining specific pragmatic topics such as dictics, expressions, conversational implicature, presupposition, and speech and conversation structure. In contrast, the European school adopts a broader perspective, incorporating fields like conversation analysis, cultural anthropology, sociolinguistics, and psycholinguistics into their examinations of intercommunication. Now let's proceed to the types of pragmatics. So we have 3. First is micropragmatics, second is macropragmatics, and the third one is metapragmatics. So in micropragmatics, the studies of micropragmatics are on the level of language using, centering upon the discussion of pragmatic tasks aroused by the understanding of language, symbols, reference, and implicature during conversations. These include the context, conversational implicatures, reference, pragmatic principles, speech acts, and conversations analysis. So in micropragmatics, it focuses on the detailed aspects of language use. It examining how pragmatic tasks arise from understanding references and implicatures in conversation. So it includes the elements such as context, conversational implicature, reference, pragmatic principles, speech act, and conversation analysis. Okay, let's proceed to the second pragmatics, which is the macro pragmatics. So this study is the level, it talks about the level of society and culture, focus on the problems of how to use language for language users during the process of communication, including pragmatic acts, literary pragmatics, pragmatic across cultures, and social aspects of pragmatics. So in macro pragmatics, it examines the language use at the societal and cultural levels, and it addresses how language functions in broader communicative context through studies on pragmatic act, literary pragmatics, cross-cultural communication, and also the social aspects of pragmatics. Now, let's proceed to the third pragmatics, which is what we call meta-pragmatics. So, this meta-pragmatics, which can be considered as a review, a survey, or reflection of pragmatics itself. So, it includes making statements about itself, questioning itself, improving itself, quoting itself, rethinking the methodologies and theoretic system during the process of its studies. So this part it involves reflecting on and analyzing the fields of pragmatics itself. It includes evaluating and revising its methodologies, theoretical framework, and the nature of its own statements and assumptions. So we also have the levels of language and linguistics. We have the text discourse analysis and text linguistics, down to meaning semantics, situation and context pragmatics, sentence, clauses, phrases, words, grammar, which includes the morphology and syntax. We have the sounds and letters, and phonology and phonetics. So we have the pragmatics and other linguistics. So I will directly into the explanation. So unlike phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, and semantics, so which focus on different structural aspect of language, so pragmatics centers on how language is used in context. As a relatively young field in linguistics, so the pragmatics explores how the meaning of utterances is influenced by situational and linguistic context, and also it examines the relationship between linguistic science and their users. Of course, we have the essence of pragmatics. So, syntax addresses the formal relations of signs to one another. So, we also have the semantics, deals with the relation of signs to what they denote. And pragmatics has a big deal with the relation of signs to their users and interpreters. So, we also have the central rationale for pragmatics. For syntax meaning, what we called semantics in natural languages vastly determines speaker meaning, that is the intention. The goal of pragmatics is to explain how the gap between sentence meaning and the speaker's meaning is bridged. So now let's proceed to the difference between grammatical analysis and pragmatic analysis. So first, grammatical studies look for rules, while pragmatic studies look for principles. So rules are black and white. Example, you are either right or wrong. For instance, you have to say he studies linguistics. So the S is required by a rule. Principles are not black and white. You can obey them to some extent and violate them to some extent. For example, one principle says we should tell the truth, and another says we should be polite in our speech. Okay, I will Instead, say the summary. So the field of pragmatics deals with the principles of language use that explain how extra meaning is conveyed without being encoded in language. So therefore, we need to investigate the speaker meaning. Example, how meaning is communicated by the speaker or writer, interpreted by a listener or reader. So thus, pragmatics concentrates more on the analysis of what people mean by their utterances than what the words or phrases in those utterances might mean by themselves, which is analyzed in semantics. Okay, that could be all for my report. Thank you for listening.